back, everybody, to another edition MLB DFS Quick Hits. It's your Thursday, August 9th edition. We have a 6-game slate on tap for you here on your Thursday. Hope everybody had a good Wednesday. Another wild one. This one might be even crazier because pitching is very, 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 very bad. Let's look at your totals real quick on this slate. There are 3 early games. You got Braves at Nationals, total of 9, Twins, Indians 7.5, Padres, Brewers 8.5. But going into your night slate, Rangers at Yankees 9.5, Red Sox at Blue Jays 9.5, Orioles at Rays, waiting on the total there, should be at least 8.5, probably 9. Mariners, Astros 7, Dodgers at Rockies, Coors Field Special 10.5, and Pirates, Giants at 8. So yes, offense on your second game, on your 6-game slate. There's really no rain to worry about because where there is, they should be able to close the dome. Wind's blowing out in Yankee Stadium to right field at about 10 miles an hour. So all in all, not too shabby. Let's get into the pitching on this slate. You have 3 guys at 10K or more. Let's just talk about the 4 guys at 9,300 or more because then it just drops off massively. You have Justin Verlander at 12.4 at home against the Seattle Mariners. He is by far the high-priced option on the slate. He hasn't even faced Seattle this year, which seems very, very odd in this whole mess. But his last time out, 44.3 at the Dodgers, struggled against Texas, 35.3 at LA, 23.9. He's very, very good. We know this. Seattle's a very up-and-down offense. They strike out only around 20% of the time versus right-handed pitching. Verlander's really, really good. If you want to go there, you can. But I'm starting at James Paxton at $10,600. This guy's been outstanding. He's averaging 21 a point in his last 10. Against the Astros this year, he's faced them 3 times. He has owned them. 20 and 2/3 innings pitched, 2 earned, 21 strikeouts, averaging 28.4 DraftKings points per start against Houston. Faced him 2 starts ago. 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned, 8 Ks for 34 DraftKings points. Been very, very good against him. His last time at Houston, 7 and 2/3, 1 earned, 6 Ks for 25.3. When you look at Houston, they're going to have a righty-heavy lineup. And that's interesting because James Paxton does very, very well versus righties. When you look at the breakdown, lefties 275, righties 300. But when you look at the power, lefties actually have more power against Paxton than righties. The Astros, they strike out 20% of the time versus left-handed pitching. Paxton's 32% K rate, 14% ground ball rate, 38% ground ball rate. It's 14% swinging strike rate. Sorry. Lots to like with Paxton. If I'm paying all the way up, I'm going to Paxton at 10.6 over Verlander at 10.4. Yeah, Porcello at $10,000 coming off his amazing start against the New York Yankees. He's going up against Toronto. He's faced 3 times this year, 15 and 2/3, 13 earned, 16 Ks, averaging 9.9 fantasy points per game against the Toronto Blue Jays. He faced him 4 starts ago, 2 innings, 8 earned, 2 Ks for minus 14.1. He's been decent his last 3 prior to that, even 4 of his last 5, but Toronto has his number this year. Not sure exactly what it is, but that could be a sneakier GPP play in Toronto. But on a small slate, you can still look at Porcello. 23% K rate for Toronto versus right-handed pitching. Same K rate for Porcello with the 45% ground ball rate. When you look at Toronto, team total of 4.3, lefties 342, righties 298. So I think Porcello might actually be kind of popular tonight after his recent performance against the Yankees. I think Toronto's bats can be sneaky nice. You're going to have to get really weird on this 6-game slate because everyone's going to flock to coolers. But last guy up here, J.A. Happ's $9,300. He's at home against the Texas Rangers. He's faced Texas once this year, 7 innings, 2 earned, 9 Ks for 30.8 DraftKings points. Happ is one of those totally up and down guys, but his last 3 starts, 16-5, 24-9, 16-1. They had a -2, a .2, and then 14-1, 27, 17, 23, 15. He's very, very good. He'll have the blow-ups like all pitchers have. He's coming off his first start off a hand, foot, and mouth disease, so take that as you will. But Texas does strike out 23% of the time. Happ's a -215 home favorite, currently the highest favorite on the night slate. He's striking out almost 27% of the batters he faces, which is really, really good for J.A. Happ. He has a 10.4% swinging strike rate with a 44% ground ball and a 29% hard contact rate. He's been very, very, very good this year. Has occasional hiccups. When you look at Texas, a 3.8 team total, 3rd lowest on the slate. Lefties 274, righties 312. So J.A. Happ could be one of those sneakier plays that doesn't get love. Almost if you could put Happ and Paxton together and find value, I would almost go that way because we're about to go into a depth of pitching that's going to scare the living crap out of people and might give children nightmares. So it's really, really bad. So you're looking at the pitching up top. I'm going Paxton 1, Happ 2, Verlander 3, Porcello 4. That's where I'm building around up top, but they're all viable options. Just depends on where you choose to go. But Paxton, Happ lead the way for me. Now you drop all the way down. I'm skipping Stripling and Coors because coming off the deal, I don't know how long Davey Roberts let him go. It's very, very risky. But you drop below $6,000 at $5,900. Tyler Anderson of the Colorado Rockies at home against the Dodgers. He's faced the Dodgers twice this year. 13 innings, 5 earned, 12 Ks, averaging 19.1 per start. He's on the season averaging 15 a game at home. He's actually been better at home than on the road. A 3.65 ERA at home compared to 4.48 on the road. Almost a K per inning. His last home start came against Houston, 18.9. Against Seattle, 17.9. Arizona, 23.3. Giants, 37.6. Miami, 16.1. Mets, 10. Those are his last few home starts. He's actually really, really good versus right-handed pitching. That's something to keep in mind, or right-handed hitting, because the Dodgers will throw a lot of him at him. The Dodgers have a team total of 5.4, second highest on the slate. But lefties 288, righties 291 versus Anderson this year. And the Dodgers have a 300 WOBA and a 157 ISO. Nothing super crazy to go run and hide from. They strike out 22.5% of the time versus lefties. Anderson has a 22.6% K rate, 12% swinging strike, 39% ground ball, almost a 31% hard contact rate. For $5,900, I think there's a lot of upside here. It is scary. They have Dozier, they have Machado, Puig, Kemp, Kiki, Taylor. The list goes on and on and on. Grandal's a switch hitter. There's tons of them there. I get it. It's terrifying. But for $5,900, you can match him with a pitcher up top, get a ton of bats, and see where your night takes you. So he is definitely an option. We can't just walk over at this mess, especially because these next two pitchers will be the popular ones. When you go to San Francisco, they have one of the lowest totals on the entire slate outside of Houston and Seattle. You got Andrew Suarez at $5,100. He faced Pittsburgh once this year, 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned, 5 Ks for 3.6. He's got a 3.64 ERA at home compared to 5.61 on the road, so he's been much, much better at home. His last home start, 12.1 against Milwaukee, 9.7 against Oakland. He just hasn't been that dominating guy when he first got up here, and that's the part that scares me. And yes, the Pirates' numbers don't look great. They have a 3.7 total, second lowest on the slate. But lefties hit 248, righties 360 for Suarez, and that's what scares me because sure, it's a 313 WOBA, 160 ISO for the Pirates versus righties, but we've noticed it. We've been using it a lot when they played the Cubs and some other teams. They've got some bats that have been doing very, very well versus left-handed pitching. So the Pirates, A, their bats can be cheap and helpful. B, I think Suarez will be popular, and maybe he throws a gem. Maybe you want to go there at $5,100 just for the savings alone. The upside's there. The value's there. I'm just a little slightly worried there. The other guy in the matchup, Ivan Nova, $4,900. Chalky Ivan Nova is never good. He's priced at $4,900 for a reason. He's been very, very bad. His last 10 games averaging 12.3. He's faced the Giants once this year. 5 2/3, 4 earned, 2 Ks, 4 DraftKings points. His last 2 starts, 0.4, 1.9. Prior to that, though, 14.8 at Cincinnati, 10.3, 16, -4, 7.9, 32, 16, 27. He's got that tremendous upside with that very, very volatile stuff as well. And that's what makes it very, very tricky. The Giants do strike out almost 24% of the time versus right-handed pitching. Nova's 17% K rate, 45% ground ball rate. The Giants have a 4.3 team total. Lefties 392, righties 322. They have a bad WOBA of 307, a really bad ISO of 142. First right-handed pitching. So I'm not saying Nova's not in play by any means. It's an interesting spot at his price point, especially. It's just chalky Nova's never good Nova. So down below, I got Tyler Anderson 1 because I want to be contrarian down here, and I like his upside in that matchup. And then Nova 2, Suarez 3. So that's where you're going to be going down below. Recapping up top, I got Paxton 1, J.A. Happ 2, Verlander 3, Porcello 4. Let's go look at the bats on this loaded slate. Again, you got Grandal and Coors at 52. Probably not going there. But you got Robbie Chirinos at 4,200 versus J.A. Happ. If you're not using Happ, Chirinos does come into play for you. Cervelli at 39 versus Suarez as well is a nice option in that matchup. Elias Diaz for the Pirates also at 36 could be an option for you. When you go down a little farther, if Austin Romine for the Yanks at 35 could be a play versus Baruki if you're stacking the Yanks. Other than that, it gets really, really nasty. Michael Perez of Tampa Bay at 3K versus Hess. He could be a nice cheaper option. One I'll probably go to, I think it might be popular. Sandy Leone at 2,800 versus Baruki could be a nice cheapie for you down there. Other than that, you can maybe play one of the Baltimore catchers at 28 and 27, but I'd probably go Leon at 28 and go from there. First base, you got Muncy and Coors, Bellinger and Coors. Okay, Jake Bauers at 44, not bad. But you got Steve Pearce, first base outfield eligible versus the lefty Baruki at 43. That's a lock and load. We're always targeting Pearce versus lefties. I think it's a great play versus Baruki. When you look at Boston on the slate tonight, they have a 5.2 team total. It is third highest on the slate. Lefties 280, righties 328 off Baruki. So you can definitely look at some Steve Pearce at 4,300 in a great spot there. CJ Cron versus Hess is very interesting at 4,200. When you look at Tampa Bay, we're waiting on a team total. But lefties 355, righties 373 off Hess. So righties having a little more success, a little more power this year off of Hess. So Cron at 42 will be very, very much overlooked. Another guy, first base, third base eligible. You got David Freese at 41. He usually gets cleanup versus lefties. It is a crappy ballpark to hit in compared to all things tonight, but Pittsburgh will be super low owned, so there'll be some value for you there. When you slide on down, like Mitchie 2 bags of 4K, even though it's a lefty, I don't completely hate it. He's got that power in that matchup. If you want to fade Porcello, though, like a Justin Smoke at 39 definitely comes into play against Porcello, hoping Toronto blows him up again. Farther down you go, you look at the likes of Greg Bird at 36 versus Gerardo is stupid cheap. Remember, when blowing out to right, Yankees have the highest total at 5.7. Lefties 385, righties 380. Greg Bird's been horrible, but it's like the Joey Gallo theory. And Gallo's been much, much better than Greg Bird. That's why he's priced higher than Greg Bird. Bird's been bad, like really bad. He's averaging 2 points in his last 10. But he's also got that home run upside where he can flip it out to right in no time flat. At 3,600 versus Gerardo, who's really, really bad. He becomes a very, very nice value play, especially if you're paying up for pitching. You can slide him on in and make that work. Kendrys Morales, another value at 3,400 versus Porcello. I don't hate that as well. If you're looking to pay up for pitching, you need to punt. You're going to have to get weird with your punts. You're going to have to take some uncomfortable situations. So Kendrys at 34, Greg Bird at 36. Those are two options you can definitely get behind in a GPP, and they can easily run into one. That's what you're looking for. When you're taking your value, can they run into one? Yes, they can. Now you go to second base. You got Brian Dozier and Coors at 55. Not a bad play. We did say lefties are better than righties versus Anderson, but Dozier, career-wise, has smoked them. Rookie Odor has shown power versus lefties. He's 47 versus Happ if you want to be contrarian in that matchup. Again, wind blowing out to right. But like Gleyber Torres at 43 versus Gerardo, absolutely love it. Love it. He's been in the middle of that order. Joey Wendell will be super low owned. He's $4,100. Second base outfield eligible. Averaging 8.7 his last 10. 8 yesterday, and a 0, a 24, a 2, a 15, a 9, a 7 of late. He's got a little power speed combo. Hitting cleanup for the Rays. No one will own him at $4,100. So he's a contrarian type play. You can go out in that mid-price range. Excuse me. Farther down you go, like a Josh Harrison at 38 versus Suarez. Very much worth a look for you there. Willie Adames at 37 could be a play for you as well. Neil Walker, $3,600, first base, second base eligible. He's not lighting the world on fire, but again, it's a piece of the highest total on the slate. 5-0-19 in his last 3. So he's kind of an all-or-nothing guy. But Gerardo's very, very, very bad. So you can kind of pick on that with some value there and see what magic you can make happen. Johnny VR is only $3,500 for the Baltimore Orioles versus Tampa Bay. And the Wood's going to be starting, the righty Wood, and then it goes kind of whatever they're going to put out their bullpen. But VR is a nice little spot there to lead off at $3,500. I don't hate that at all if you're looking to save. Again, these are savings guys. Harvey Solarte, second base, third base. He's $3,300. I like that quite a bit for savings. That's big time upside. You're going crazy because Porcello's been very, very good his last 3, but we got to look back at the picture as a whole. And Toronto's gotten to him this year, but prior to those 3 starts, he scuffled a little bit. Third base, you got Arenado and Coors at 54. It's always a good look there. Mentioned Muncy already. Justin Turner, 4,700 and Coors, very interesting as well. But you got the switch hitting Jurickson Profar, third base shortstop at 46. He'll go super low owned versus Happ. Alex Bregman, if you aren't using Paxton, Bregman's third base shortstop eligible at 45. Miguel Andujar, we saw him streak earlier in the year. He's kind of cooled down. He's streaking again, averaging 8.6 his last 10, 7 and 24 in his last 2. He's got that big power upside at 4,300 versus Gerardo. Again, David Freese, 4,100 against Suarez, first base, third base eligible. Talked about him earlier. When you slide on down some more, though, you're looking at Adrian Beltre at 39, Rafael Devers at 37. Yes, it's lefty. I don't care. He returned from the DL yesterday and spanked one. Looking really, really good there. Young Harris Solarte, third base, second base, $3,300. Tim Beckham went deep yesterday. Another value at 3,300, third base, shortstop eligible. He's averaging 9.2 his last 10. His last 2, 16 and 18. So definitely then a 0, then a 5, 8, 9, 7, 6, 15, 8. So 6 or more in 9 of his last 10, like 7 or 8 or more in like 7 of those for $3,300 against Tampa Bay and their bullpen. That's a really good price at third base or shortstop. Probably more so at shortstop, but that's kind of one of those sneakier deals. You play like VR at 35, Beckham at 33. This is why I think you can pay up for pitching tonight and have at least GPP shots. They can all fall on their face. We know that already. But you got to take those gambles on a crap slate like this. That's how you differentiate yourself, because everyone's going to run to Coors. Everyone's going to run to the Yankees. Everyone's going to run to Boston. How can you make yourself different? You can still have little pieces of those, but everyone's going to want those. So you pay up for pitching, because if you pay up for pitching, you can't afford those guys, at least not the masses that you want. And then you get different at the bats. That's how you're going to make this work. Going over to shortstop, Manny Machado and Coors at 54 is very, very intriguing. Didi Gregorius at 49 versus Toronto is an outstanding play. He's probably going deep tonight. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. You got Chris Taylor and Coors at 47, Jerks and Profar at 46, Bregman at 45. Talked about all them. You got Kiki versus Lefty at 43 in Coors. But Bogart's at 42. Like, he's like the 8th or 9th guy down the list. I'd be going that direction against Baruki if you want to be different than the rest of the guys up top there. Elvis Anderson, 41, is also very, very interesting in his matchup. If Brandon Crawford's got a good spot in the order, say 6th or better, 3,800 for Crawford is not too bad at all. I could dig that quite a bit. Jordy Mercer at 34 versus Suarez, another value play. I mentioned Tim Beckham already at 33. I like that as some value as well when you're looking at the shortstop position. Now let's head to the outfield and wrap her up. You got Mookie Betts at 59 in a great spot versus Baruki, but I'd rather have JD Martinez at 56. They're both great plays. Both can have huge nights. But give me JD versus the lefty in the middle of that order at 56. That's the place I'd be looking. You got Blackman at 54, Dahl at 53. Both really good plays there versus Stripling coming off the DL. Cargo at 52 as well, so that outfield's locked and loaded. But outside of JD Martinez, maybe Betts up top, I'm going down to Giancarlo at 51. He had a big fly yesterday. 22 DraftKings points, averaging 10.4 his last 10. He's been smoking hot. 22, 19, 6, 8, 12, 0, 21. Really feeling it at the dish. Great matchup versus Dorado. Give me some Giancarlo if you need to go to the top. Aaron Hicks at 48 is a great spot as well. Went deep yesterday. I always have a soft spot for Hicks. He's a very, very underrated, underappreciated ball player. Like him quite a bit. Malik Smith leading off at 47, kind of how we talked about the other guys in the Rays lineup that we get way overlooked. Another 15 points from Malik's last night, 11.8 on average his last 10, 15, 9, 19, 9, 14, 0, 29, 15. Really playing some good baseball. He gets on, steals bags, scores runs. Don't sleep on Malik's at 47 because everybody else is. Don't be that guy. Sliding on down even farther, you got Jake Bowers at 44. Talked about him. Maybe a Brett Gardner at 44. Kind of a different piece of that Yankees action. Love us some Steve Pearce at 43. I think a lot of people will because, on a slate like this where bats are expensive and pitching's expensive, getting Pearce at 43 is actually pretty damn good value. Really good value. Starling Marte is really good value too. I know it's San Francisco at night and the ball doesn't carry as well. It is going to be a little hotter than normal here out west, but Starling Marte at 43 is a great play in this matchup against Suarez. That's quite the savings there. Matt Kemp at 42 and Coors do like that quite a bit. There's Joey Wendell again, second base outfield at 4,100. Talked about him earlier. Sliding on down a little farther, good go Gallo and a GPP at 41. Kiermaier at 4K, but Kiermaier's been batting like 7th lately. That loses a lot of its luster. He's got to be towards the top of that order. Otherwise, it's just not worth it. Denard Span at 39 is a GPP. He's been in the middle of that Seattle lineup. But Grichuk leading off at 38 versus Porcello, I like quite a bit. Teoscar at 38 is also not bad as well, but both interesting. Curtis Granderson versus Porcello at 37. That's my GPP boy when he's facing a righty leading off in that lineup. Farther down we go now. You got the likes of maybe a Steven Duggar if he's leading off at 37 versus Nova. That's not a bad value play for you there. Farther down you look. It's the way the outfield's going lately. Hope you guys played some Culberson yesterday at 34. That was beautiful. But like Adam Jones and Trey Mancini both at $3,400 versus Wood. Wood is not that good, guys. Really not a good pitcher. And you're going to get a lot of Rays bullpen after that. So take advantage of it while you can. It's going to be very, very interesting in that matchup tomorrow or today. Other than that, when you keep sliding down, not much at all. I'm not even gonna. No. Yeah, check your lineups. See what else pops up. So you have Tochi at 29, Cameron Maben at 28. These aren't guys I'm looking to play tonight. So, go down to about 33, 34. You might find a dart or two, but wait for lineups to see what else shows up. Recapping your pitching real quick. Up top, you got Paxton 1, Happ 2, Verlander 3, Porcello 4. Down below, Anderson 1, Nova 2, Suarez 3. Again, Yankees highest total, then the Dodgers and the Red Sox and the Rockies. So that's where everyone's going to be looking. I think the Red Sox kind of be different in the group, but they're all really, really good spots there. But don't be scared to maybe look at the Pirates a bit. Don't be scared to look at the Rays in their matchup and the Orioles as well. Those can make for some interesting plays as well. But hey, if you want to be with the rest of the crew, just mix it up a little bit, be a little different in that mess, because those teams should score quite a bit. For all you playing the 3-game slate, we're going to do the whole day's BVP real quick. Trey Turner has 2 homers. Okay, the Nationals has great success for Sandoval Sanchez. Matt Adams has a homer. Trey Turner 2. Daniel Murphy 1. Matt Wieters 2. Adam Eaton 2. Bryce Harper 1. Ryan Zimmerman 1. They're hitting 262 as a team with 10 dongs against Sanchez. But Gio's been struggling against the Braves as well. Kurt Suzuki, 6 for 13, 2 doubles, 2 homers. Camargo, 7 for 14, 2 doubles and a homer. Freeman, 15 for 48, 6 doubles, 4 homers. NCRT, 11 for 25, 2 doubles. Swanson's taken him deep twice. Joe Mauer, 16 for 54, 5 doubles, a triple, 2 homers versus Kluber. Kepler, Rosario, Forsythe have all taken Kluber deep. Robinson Chirinos, 3 for 8, double and a homer onto the night slate now, off of Hap. Justin Smoke's hitting 270 off Porcello, but 10 for 37 with 2 doubles and 5 home runs. So 7 of his 10 hits are extra bases, half of them home runs. Keep that in mind. Morales has taken him deep twice as well. Mookie Betts, 2 for 2, 2 triples off Barugi. Small sample, of course. Joey Wendell, 4 for 5 off Hess. Duffy's taking him deep. The Astros are hitting a $197 with no homers off of Paxton with a 224 WOBA and a .70 ISO. That's really, really good stuff. They faced him quite a bit. That's impressive. Very impressive. Kyle Seager, 8 for 25, 3 doubles, 3 homers off Verlander. Span, 17 for 44, 2 doubles and a triple. Nelly Cruz is taking him deep as well. Nolan Arenado, 5 for 11 with a double and a homer off Stripling. Justin Turner, 11 for 21, 3 doubles and a homer off Anderson. Bellinger, Kemp, and Enrique Kiki Hernandez have all homered off of Anderson. B. Croft, 5 for 11, 2 doubles and a triple off Nova. Evan Longoria, 13 for 44, 4 doubles, 3 home runs off Nova. And that'll do it for your BVP, and that'll do it for Quick Hits. Thanks for joining us today. Check us out on Twitter at TheSportsDegens, TheSportsDegens.com. I am at BDentric. I've got Bench with Bubba, episode 112 with Elliot Chris talking fantasy football running backs. I recorded last night. It's out. Bench with Bubba, episode 113 with Randy Haynes of Friends with Fantasy Benefits, talking some fantasy baseball. We got Around the Base with Bubba and Mo, episode 75, talking Red Sox domination over the Yankees. Some fantasy baseball 2019 top 10 previews. It's a really fun discussion there. Talking top prospects, much, much more. So that's a fun episode of Around the Bases. Go check that out. Tons more content. We have our new writers with the fantasy football stuff coming out early and often. Great stuff there. So go check us all out. Give us a rating and review on the podcast wherever you listen. We have SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podbean, YouTube. Wherever you listen to it, check it out. Give us a rating and review for all our podcasts. It would be much, much appreciated. It would help us go a long, long ways. But good luck on your 6-game slate this Thursday. Come back with a full one on Friday. This was MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Monday, August 9th edition. I'm out.